We're back here, fresh from the All-Star break. Another winning lineup review. This is from the NBA Comeback Shot 400K, February 24th, 2022. Interesting way to start it back off here, fresh off the All-Star break. We had a 6-way tie for first. Shout out to tacobellisbae, Stock 2 Male, fordnomustang, cjcashing, brandonortega, and Sliders. Congratulations, you guys. Way to make it an interesting first slate back from the All-Star break. In this series, this is where I go over the winning lineup from the night before, kind of point out the guys and see how they fit into the winning lineup, and see if we can take a couple things from these guys' winning lineups and implement into our own research so that we can have a better strategy and method when we go about our own research. Again, if you guys like these videos, want to keep seeing me pump them out, go ahead and drop me down a like below. Subscribe to the channel, helps me out, helps me keep going. And go ahead and drop me down a follow on Twitter as well. Link in the description if you guys want to reach out to me, get some cash games going, or want to interact with me at all. Without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right into this. First point guard spot, we have Cade Cunningham. He's back from his pre-injury form. Right before the All-Star break, he just came back from a hip injury. He's on a bit of a minutes limit back then, playing about under 30 minutes. But after the All-Star break, we see he's right back to his usual form, getting in 30-plus minutes a game, 15-plus shots a game, and contributing in all categories, including on the defensive side of the ball. He's not a very good shooter. Didn't have a very good shooting night tonight either. Only 4 from 16 from the field, but he was able to get to the line with 10 free throw attempts, making 9 of those. So that definitely helped him out in the scoring department as well. No Darius Garland and no Karis LeVert for Cleveland last night. So that certainly helped him out on the defensive end as well. As he's primarily going up against Rondo and Okoro, two guys who, have some average defense but aren't going to go out there and stop Cade from doing what he does. Also coming into this matchup with some pretty good history. In his last game out versus Cleveland, he put up 57 FanDuel points. Didn't really keep the trend alive. Missed the mark by about 20, but certainly still enough to pay off his $6,000 price tag. Second point guard spot, we have Rajon Rondo. Again, no Darius Garland, no Karis LeVert for the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight. So Rondo got the de facto start. Cheap point guard, I believe he came in at $3,900, going up against a bad Detroit defense. Earlier this season, with Garland out, we've seen Rondo get about 30 minutes and put up, I believe he had 2 games with 30 minutes, and put up about 40 FanDuel points in both those games. Certainly coming in with some proven history that he can produce when given the minutes. Only got up to about 26 minutes tonight, so we didn't really see that upside of him being able to reach that 40 floor. But with him being so cheap, he was able to put up enough points to pay off that cheap price tag. And having a guy like that available tonight certainly helped fit in some of these higher price pieces. First shooting guard spot here, we have Devin Booker. As we learned over the All-Star break, no CP3 is going to be out for a while. Dealing with some broken bones in his hand/thumb. It was kind of interesting to see how the Suns would bring out the starting lineup, whether they would let the newly acquired Aaron Holiday start, or they'd put Booker at the point guard. Opted with Booker at the point guard. I think they're waiting for Cameron Payne to come back, and then they'll insert Cameron Payne back in the starting lineup and kind of shift Booker back down to the shooting guard. But that remains to be seen with Cameron Payne still out. So Booker at the point guard, on top of his already immense scoring floor, he has more assist opportunities, just making his ceiling even higher. And we saw proof of that tonight with him reaching double-digit assists with 12. Also came into this night against the awful KC defense. We've seen guys in previous lineups taking advantage of this poor OKC defense. They also got the addition of SGA back tonight. So should be a little bit of a better team now, a little bit more competitive, probably less blowouts on the OKC end. Should also give us a little bit of confidence that this game wouldn't get too out of hand. But to attest to that terrible defense, Devin Booker got himself 6 steals tonight, free 18 points right there. So certainly a team we want to keep attacking throughout the end of the season here, as keep producing guys that end up in these lineups. Second shooting guard spot here, we have D'Angelo Russell. Came into the highest game total on the slate, the tightest spread. I believe the over-under was set about 240. And these non-blowout injuries, since D'Angelo Russell's been back from that shin injury, he's been playing pretty solid opportunities and offensive opportunities as well. Playing about 35 plus minutes a game with about 25 plus usage percentage and about 20 shots. Excuse me. Also, a guy who's going to go out there and assist, get some really well assist numbers. As we see with 9 tonight. He came out a little bit slow tonight, but toward the end, the second half, when the team needed him, he was making shots down the stretch. And with some of his teammates, like Anthony Edwards and Karl-Anthony Towns being in a little bit tougher matchups, he certainly took advantage of the soft spot in the Memphis defense tonight. He also came into this game with great history against Memphis, averaging 44 over his last 3 games versus them this season. In our first small forward spot, we have Will Barton. He came into this night in also another great game environment. 3rd highest over-under slate with the 3rd tightest spread. Also a good pace matchup spot for him as well. Playing against the very fast Sacramento Kings. And with them playing so fast, they're also not a very good defensive team. Sacramento, piggybacking off the great defensive matchup, Sacramento has been the number 1 best matchup for shooting guards over the last 15 games. So kind of all the stars aligned for Will Barton tonight to smash. Outside of Jokic, who I would argue isn't really the main scorer out there. He's more of a facilitator, pass first kind of guy. Will Barton's the main scorer out there. So with him having a nice high total tonight, pretty bad defense out there in Sacramento. It was kind of set up for him to be the main scorer tonight for Denver. Certainly produced that. Racking up 31 points tonight. Very efficient, good shooting night for him. I believe he was 11 for 17 from the field. So all around great night for Will Barton. Our second small forward spot, another guy who benefited from both the CP3 injury and the awful OKC defense, Cam Johnson. He got the start tonight out at small forward. That allowed for more playing time and opportunity for him. He was able to eclipse the 30-minute mark with him being around the 20 to 25-minute mark recently off the bench, and allowed him to get some more shots up. He got about 12 shots up tonight, with him only averaging about under 10 with him off the bench. Also, no Lou Dort for OKC tonight. We've been seeing small forwards killing in this spot with no Lou Dort in that lineup. So certainly a thing we want to keep an eye on. If Lou Dort's going to continue to be out, we want to keep attacking small forwards against OKC. And also, if Cam Johnson's going to continue to start, certainly another guy we want to keep an eye on. Is he able to score and obviously put up some stats in the peripherals with the rebounds and assist numbers. First power forward spot here, we have Jaren Jackson. Highest over-under again on the slate with the tightest spread. He's quietly been averaging some pretty good offensive usage for the team in the games that have been non-blowouts. His team has been surprisingly involved in many blowouts on both ends over the past 10 to 15 games. But when the games have been competitive, he's been having some pretty solid numbers. About 25 plus usage, at least 15 shots a game. And he also has immense defensive upside. He's going to go out there and get some blocks and some steals as well. As we see, he did that tonight with 5 total defensive stats. And when you're also playing in a nice high-scoring pace-up spot like this, it's also another good recipe for some defensive stats for him. With him being one of the big 3 scorers out there, certainly had a offensive role carved out for him tonight, but he kind of got a bit of a boost with Jaw coming up lame against the Timberwolves tonight. I believe in the third quarter, so he went to the locker room for a little bit. And then Desmond Bane, another one of their main scorers out there, had a real off night tonight. Poor shooting and just in foul trouble all out through the night. So that kind of opened up for Jaren Jackson to kind of take over the team offensively. And he certainly did. Put up a nice double-double with a little bit of defensive stats on the side. And our second and last power forward spot, we have Michael Bridges. Again, no CP3 going up against that poor OKC defense. Pretty much anybody that goes out there is going to do well. With CP3 being out, Bridges got a little bit more offense opportunity as a scorer. They can't just rely all the way on D-Book to get him all the points they need. You'd have to be averaging about 50 if they did that. With Michael out there, he was able to get about 17 shots. Nice little increase up from about his 12 to 15 range. And again, against the poor OKC defense, they just simply had no answer for him. And our last spot here of Nikola Jokic. Again, top 3 over-under on the slate. Nice pace-up spot. And also the third best matchup for centers over the last 15 games with that poor Sacramento defense. I mean, we know what we're going to get out of Jokic. Potential MVP candidate, potential MVP winner. He's going to give you a triple-double damn near almost every night. 1 assist shy tonight. Simply, it was a poor night at center. Nobody's very, very appealing. So it makes sense to kind of pay it for a guy like Jokic, who you know what you're going to get at least 50, at least 60, with plenty of upside against, especially in a matchup against Sacramento. As we see, many people were on that same kind of thinking with him being 38% owned, and it certainly worked out well. So that's going to wrap that one up. Again, if you guys like this, want to keep me pump these out, go ahead and drop me down a like and subscribe to the channel down below, and see you guys again.